kilo for them, whereas merino is $20. And it's all in the micron, isn't it? So this micron wool here would be, what, 34 micron?
Yeah, it'd be that mid-30s.
When I was wool classing...
Okay, we got the green light. Can we have our shearers to the board? So this is heat number 2 of the Shear Expertise Open Wool Handling quarter-final. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go.
Some young guns in here, Toma.
There sure is. And on table number 1, we have Ngaio Hansen. Ngaio was a Braddock before she got married, so she's one of that awesome family of competitors from just up the road in the Ikitahuna area. Very, very fierce young competitors, and they really know how to, as you were saying a little bit earlier, collect those ribbons. And we've got Angela Stevens on table number 2. Angela's, she's got a real little young family going on. I think baby might be a week or so old. But here she is up here competing in the biggest stage in the world, Mavis, the Golden Shears. And she looks like she's fairly comfortable up there.
Stand number 3, Tina Allison. We've introduced Tina before. She's a very, very astute wool handler and will be representing the Cook Islands in the World Championships in France in July. So she's, you know, she knows her stuff. She's working around this. And then down the end here, Emiraina Braddock, sister to Ngaio at the top, on the top stand. You know, they're competitive as heck, these Braddocks. They have a whakapapa which takes them out to Ahonga on the coast, the Power family. So, you know, they've probably got that bit of Irish stuff that streams through their blood as well that helps them to be as competitive as they are. But one of the big things they have to do here is prepare that fleece to get a good throw so that they can make sure they get all the right oddments out. Let's see how Tina goes. Koro, you're in the front there. What do you reckon?
Are we being honest? She wasted that fleece. There's a little bit hanging over. That would have been a beautiful fleece. But that, in saying that, she has got the best throw there. It could have been a 0. We had it so... Tina, you just missed the cut just then, but don't let that get you down. She'll be thinking about that. She'll know, blast it, I just had that little bit hanging over the side. Otherwise, it would have been a 0. But a beautiful, and Ngaio also had a good throw as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the belly. Like I said, they've got to work with the shearer. They've got to get that belly away. The fribble's worth about 10, 20 cents. The rest of the belly's worth about $1.50 to $2. So what we're talking here is these people are value adding. They're adding value to the wool clip. And Mavis, I heard you talk about the wool clip. It's not quite $1 billion anymore. It used to be, but it's really dipped under there. So we've got the top knot, and that's what we call fibre that doesn't take the dye anymore. That's no good in your carpet. If you see a discoloured wool on your carpet, that's probably a bit of top knot. The ideal stuff is the one that's going in the wool pack, and that's worth on a good day about $2.50 at the moment. So we're getting ready to roll up, and this lady on table number 2, the newly mama, she's a new mother, Angela Stevens. She's only just not long, and here she is. She's come all the way from Ahuriri in Napier, but the girl from the South Island, the Matoda girl, Tina Ellis, is rolling up the fleece, and we're getting ready. Ngaio has already got it in the wool pack, Tuma.
Yeah, she's right there with her shearer. You know, when you get up there, they're sitting there, they're looking half asleep. They get up on the stage and bang, another light comes on, and they're on their game. Oh, lovely throw from Angela. A little bit of an overthrow. Tina, she's got a bigger, bulkier throw, but she's done very, very well to get it on. But this Ngaio Hansen, she's not mucking around. You know, she's fully focused on what she's doing, Mavis. And I tell you what, she's looking dangerous.
She sure is. Down here, Emiraina's done a very good job of putting a bloomin' mongrel fleece on the table. Great, big, bulky thing. No fibres to hold it together. You know, she's done a very good job. It's going to be interesting to see, though. just having a quick look up at the points, because that throw would have been added into there already, and you can probably see the result of that.
Ngai Henson, she runs back to her fleece. She just finished grabbing those hollow fibres that Koro was talking about from around the head. Then she comes back to her table, a little bit of wool overhanging, so she uses her knee to bring the wool up to table height and just to keep skirting, so she's not losing any time. You'll see some of these wool handlers, they'll have a little bit of wool on the floor and they'll wedge it in between their foot and the broom, and they'll put it in the fadge, save them bending over. So these wool handlers, they all develop their own little styles, their own little patterns, as you'd call it, around the table. Ngaio, she's got a little bit of time, so she's just doing a little bit of clean-up, pulling out the second pieces from the locks down on the floor, and that will probably allow her to have a quicker clean-up at the end, Mavis. It's always, these open wool handlers are always thinking ahead, aren't they?
They have to be thinking ahead. There's another fleece coming off. This shear is not going to wait. So they've got to get up there, and they've got to get up there pretty blimmin' quickly. Beautiful, Tina. Nice, nice throws, nice throws.
A beautiful throw on table number 3. This lady, I would say, on table 3 is the one that's got the throws in hand. I see Mavis, they're taking a lot of, are they taking discoloration out? Emma, she really got stuck into that last fleece.
Yeah, there is, and the referee has indicated that they do want water stain and the discoloration, heavy discoloration out. That water stain also brings with it quite a weak fibre, a weakness in the fibre. So if you left it in there and it went into the processing, it would break in half anyway. So it needs to come out. And I guess that's where the value of these wool handlers really kicks in. They're just adding so much value to the wool clip every day.
Beautiful style, and let's hope wool does pick up, because we cannot lose this brain drain that's going out of the wool sheds at the moment, because some farmers are not happy with what they're getting. They say, just send me, they normally have 3 wool handlers, they're saying let's only have 2. They're just trying to save some money as well. So Tina Ellis is the lady from the Cook Islands. We need some drums to go for her, because she's getting ready to throw fleece number 4 on the table. Ngaio is going back to the table, up to the shearing board. Tuma, she's getting ready for the next fleece as well.
Yes, you did right, Koro. Ngaio, she's got not a bad fleece. A little bit of discoloration, but I don't think it's bad enough to pull out. Some of these fleeces look a bit creamy and some are yellow. How are we going with the throws?
We've got Tina's overthrown, obviously, down there. Everyone can see that. So what you see, when you have an overthrow like that, if you had an A4 sheet of paper and put it over it, you might have seen about 6 or 8 penalties on that big overthrow. That becomes a penalty. Then they come back, and if there's anything else as well. So you can lose a significant amount on that throw. But what Tina's saying is, well, bugger it, I'm going to go like hell and put some time pressure on then. So you're making these kind of strategic decisions all the time.
Well, 1 minute and 10 seconds is the seal time, so you haven't got time for a cup of tea and a look around. You've got young Emma Ngaio Hansen down here on table number 1. She's really in the putting the hammer down too. She did a lot of homework before she skirted that last fleece, so she's going to have a very, very quick finishing time. Tina Ellis, she's looking around, feet moving like Mick Jagger. There she goes. Time for Tina Ellis. Ngaio, time for her as well. Well done, wool handlers. So we just got finishing touches. Angela Stevens, the new mama there on table number 2, working her way, swept all the wool up the top so she doesn't have to chase it around. And we got Emma Reiner down there, table number 4. She looks like she's nearly ready to put her hand up, and her time will be taken. She'll have one more look around. There we go.
Job well done, ladies. Well done.
So, Mavis, just looking at they put their hand up now, and how are the judges making their calls when they're cleaning up? Just enlighten us.
Okay, so every piece of wool or fibre of wool or staple of wool that's left on the floor, on the table, up on the shearing board, the size of a credit card, again will attract a 1 penalty point. So I'm just having a look at this stand down here now that they've moved the buckets. You know, you could just about sweep that all together and find maybe 5, 6 credit cards down there. And then if we go on top of the table, there's probably another 2 credit cards there. And then if you go on top of the board, there might be a half that you might sort of find somewhere else. So it's pretty technical for these judges, and they'd have judging days to ensure that there's consistency, that everyone understands the same thing, that they're all looking, you know, with the same lens.
Louis Pawai, I have your wallet. I just need your PIN number. Okay, next up we have Anna Braddock, Joel Henare, Candy Hiri and Tia Potai.
So we'll just, while they're getting ready, just Mavis, you've been here, you've done that. How do you become a judge at the Golden Shears? How do you become a wool handling judge? Because these guys, and I see it's not only women that are judges, there's men judges here as well. How do you become a wool handling judge?
Oh, well, you know, really it's, the judges are made up at the moment, a wide variety of the sector. We've got farmers, we have wool handlers, wool classes, we have just people of interest, maybe some parents or people who love wool. My co-judge up here says you need to have a hearing aid and glasses, but I think he's talking about shearing judges, not the wool handling judges.
You're tramping on...
I just see so many old people up there, that's all.
Oh, you're in...
No, what I'm saying is, do you have to have the knowledge to be able to qualify to be a judge? Because there's a lot of older people. You've never seen a young... Oh, there's a young lady here, but normally they would be 40 years plus.
I guess
40 years is an old person, you know.
I was going to say, Koro, you're just digging this hole deeper for yourself, but anyone who wants or has a desire to follow, be part of the industry...
Okay, I'm just going to jump in here, Mavis. Sorry, can we get Pete Noble, if you could report to the back gates, and Alex Smith, if you're in the stadium, could you please go up to the office? You're with FMG. We have a green light. Can we have our shearers to the board? Shearers to the board. 4 competition fleeces they'll be handling. Share Expertise, the sponsor. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go. Crystal Bird, I have your driver's license. I can't use it as fake ID, so you can come and grab it. That would be good. Okay, Mavis, on table number 1, we have Anna Braddock. I think she's the younger sister of the other Braddock ladies that were up just before. Wonderful to see all of these Braddocks making it through to the quarterfinals. And you can nearly guarantee there'll be one there in the next round, or 2 of them. And then on 2 koro, Joel Henare. Joel is from the Gisborne area. There's a little bit of a write-up about Joel in the program. He's looking at retiring, which is a shame. That's a big loss for the wool handling industry, because he's really taken the wool handling to a whole new level, hasn't he, Mavis?
I think the other thing about Joel, you never retire from this stuff. I can imagine Joel being a judge, as Koro has said. A lot of these people want to give back, and Joel's always been very clear about giving back. His greatest mentor, Joe Kumiro, was always about giving back, and Joel walks very closely in her footsteps. So, you know, we can talk about retirement, but I don't think so. If you watched Māori TV last night, Joel was also featured in a clip up the coast with Tui Hyde. It was great to see some of them, you know, really making efforts around employment. All right, Tuma, what's up? What's going on here now?
Well, I'm just watching Joel Henare do another one of his wonderful throws here on table number 2. Anna Braddock, a little bit overhanging, but where all the faults are is around the edge, so she will have no problems finding them. But look at Joel, he's very, very focused, as is this young Anna Braddock. She's moving away. She's got the old teeth clenched, she's looking a bit angry, actually, Koro, Anna Braddock. She's looking angry. I think you need to be.
Well, really, I think competitors, once you get up there, you got to turn that hearing aid off, as Hoppy said, but you just got to get in the zone. So she's fired up, is what you're saying. You got to bring your A game. You got to bring the A game here, leave the B game in the car, and come up here and eat the opposition. Well, that's what Joel has, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to the throws, Mavis. It would have to be Joel Henner there is the throw, that first throw. There's another 3 fleeces in there, and he is fired up because he is the current Golden Shears champion, isn't he?
He sure is, and you know, he's absolutely firing for a place in the world books yet again. Down on the end here we have Tia Portai. Proud moment for this family when her nephew made the novice shearing championships yesterday. They were all very proud, as we all are. And of course Candy from Matoda, she's been around for a while. She knows how all of this works. Let's see how this lot goes.
Table 2 again, Mavis is the throw that time around, closely followed by Anna Braddock. That was it, but this guy, Joel Henare, is in the zone, ladies and gentlemen. Tia Portai had a little bit hanging over the side. She used her legs to hold up the fleece so she can skirt it properly, but it is this thing. These sheep are absolutely beautiful. They're a big challenge. The take has been thrown down at these competitors because this is going to get harder. This is only the warm-up. If you can't get past this grade, you're going to be sitting in the audience tomorrow night. So let's get in behind this man or whoever is your favourite. Who are you going for? Is it Candy?
Absolutely, Kuro, but look in here, they're all doing really well right now.
But Candy is the one, isn't she?
Well, let's go for Candy. And John.
Back to you, Mavis.
Yep, we've all got our favourites, but you know, I guess the shearing community is a close community. We're always here to support each other. We're always there, but yep, once you get up there, there's no friends up there. It's all in your own zone, in your own thing. Just watching Tia, my gosh, she's quick. She's really got the focus going on, and you see in their face that they're looking in 5 directions at once, but very clear about where she's going next.
Joel Henare, he just had to wait for the judge to walk past so he could get rid of a handful of wool. These wool handlers, they turn and throw. Young Anna, lovely little throw. A little bit of bunching from Joel Kolo. I think this young lady from Ekitahuna just up the road might have taken the throwing honours for this fleece. And she's straight into her business. She's ripping wool to bits, throwing bits of wool underneath baskets. You know, there's only 9 baskets here for these fleeces, Koro. I don't think it's enough because there's a heck of a lot of work to do on these fleeces.
Well, they're certainly processing. They're processing false and they're working hard out. Look at Joel Henare. I think he might have run out of baskets, Tuma. There's a pile on the floor, but you can do that. It's okay to do that, isn't it, Mavis?
As long as there's no empty baskets at the end, if you've got a pile of wool on the floor and an empty basket, you will be penalised. Joel's been around too long to fall into that trap. But we've got to remember there's another couple of heats, or one more heat. No, another 2 heats to come yet. So, you know, it's still wide open. It's still anyone's. But look at those points up there. It's starting to tell its own story, isn't it?
It certainly is. Joel Henare, he's a bit in front at the moment, but we've still got one more fleece to come off. And still one more throw. Anna Braddock down here on table number 1. Roll-up time for her. It looks like the fleeces have gone from tables 3 and 4. So Joel's a little wee bit behind. The pressure is starting to mount. Here we go. These other wool handlers, they get a chance to set up their fleece. Land it, baby, land. Here we go. 1 minute 10 seconds is the seal time. Oh, young Anna, she's got a little bit of a flaky one. She'll just nurse it. Lovely throw. Good work with that throw, Koro.
Candy. Joel Henare, a little bit bunching up, but I'd have to go for table 3 and table 4 will be equal. Well, it is now, the clock is ticked away. What's the time? What's the seal time?
1 minute 10 seconds is the seal time.
Okay, so 20 seconds is ticked by, and now you should be starting to look for the roll-up of the fleece because the time is clicking away. Here comes Tia Portai rolling into that, and here she comes, Candy Hidi, the Mataura girl, rolling her fleece up. Oh, no! Ekatahuna girl's coming at her tuma.
She sure is, young Anna Braddock. She's got the brim in hand. She's got a little bit of work to do. Joel Henare doesn't look like he's got as much second pieces under there as these other wool handlers. He is renowned for his quick cleanup. We got young Tia Portai down there. She knows what she's doing. Candy's been there, done that as well. But I think it might be this young gun on table number 1, young Ara. She has a look around, and Joel's right there too. There we go. Well done, Anna. Joel's time's taken. Time for Tia. Well done, Candy. Woo, that was a beauty, Mavis. That was a good heat, a great heat.
Pretty fast and furious, that's for sure.
Okay, our fourth and final heat will be Kimberly Braddock, Ronnie Goss, Cherry Pedersen, and Chelsea Collier. Now, you wool handlers can get up once the judges have finished their judging.
Just want to acknowledge, Tuma, the sponsor for this event, ShearX. This is a new thing for Paddy and his team. Really cool to have them investing in, I guess, the acknowledging and showcasing these open wool handlers. Big thank you to Donald McRae with the sheep. Not easy to get full wool this time of year, and it takes a fair bit of farming and managing in terms of animal health to make sure they come through, and they've come through in superb condition.
Following on from the open quarter, following on from the open wool handling quarter final, it looks like we're going with the junior shearing semi-final.
So while we're waiting, we'll just look around the stadium, ladies and gentlemen, and just acknowledge the sponsors. Listers are the suppliers of the machinery, and we have the guys, Tom and Russell, to look after the machinery and running smoothly. We've got PGG Wrightsons, of course, the Wrightson circuit, and tomorrow night there's a $70,000 Hyundai motor car that the PGG guy will be driving away in. Bailey's the sponsors, of course, ShearX, the Trust House Community Enterprise, they're also a sponsor. We've got the flags flying, and Mavis, Ronnie Goss made this a quarterfinal. What's going on?
You're not surprised, are you?
I'm surprised.
She's the queen of cool.
She hasn't done shows for so long.
She doesn't need to. It's just all in her head.
The school bus driver that's made the quarterfinals.
That's why we love Ronnie.
Kia ora,
She can
Ronnie.
do everything.
Nā mihi ki a koe. Well, that's she's a surprise then. She fluked it through.
You're looking for a bruising, aren't you, Koro?
She knows what you're like, mate.
No, she knows what you're like, Koro. Doesn't affect Ronnie Goss. She is a master in every sense of the word.
Okay, we have the green light. Can we have our shearers to the board? Okay, we are good to go. Timekeepers ready. Shearers, get set, go. Okay, Mavis, down here on table number 1, we have a young lady, Kimberly Braddock. Kimberly's been wool handling probably about 7, 8 years now. She's knows what she's doing. A very, very good competitor at the lower grades, and it's good to see her up here in the quarterfinals. There was a lot of very, very good wool handlers that missed out, but there was also a lot of good wool handlers that got in. the depth of our young wool handlers now is just fantastic. And then we have, on table number 2, we have Ronnie Goss. And Ronnie is one of these competitors. We haven't seen her for a little while. I heard she went for a joyride to Taumaranui the other day and came second. And she hasn't competed for a little while, so that's just the calibre of Ronnie Goss. Koro Mullins, yes, she is one of those wool handlers that can just pull it out of the bag. And Mavis down there on table number 3.
Table number 3, Cherry Pedersen from Milton. Great that the mainlanders have been able to come up here and hold their place. Lovely to have you here, Cherry. Make it work for you. And Chelsea, I haven't seen Chelsea for so long, but she's another one who's come all the way through the grades, and this is what makes it really cool when you've known them as juniors, then they're seniors, and now look at them on this world stage. And it is a world stage. We've got live streaming going on and people texting in and you know, really enjoying it. First throws.
The girl from Matoda, Cherry Pedersen. She's the one. Milton. Sorry, Milton. We've just been corrected. This is the girl that's in the top 4 as well. So she's going to come up from the South Island. So not a familiar face here on the stage at the Ata Mido of the Golden Shears. And it is under the bright lights that this girl, Cherry, or is it Sherry? Cherie Pedersen. So we'll get the names right, but it is her. She's got the one on. But at this level, Mavis, you've got to really just keep going, don't you? You don't back off because you've had a good throw.
You don't back off. In fact, you're not even really aware of how good that throw is. You just get it on that table and back into the next thing. She's already thinking way ahead. Even though she's up there working on that fleece, she's actually thinking about, right, what was on that back leg on that table. She's looking ahead as she's going up. You know, it's always forward planning. Same happening down here with Chelsea. She's got this fleece sorted. Very quick to get around it. But always to get back to that medullated fibre, which is a contamination if they don't get it.
Well, to tell you the truth, Mavis, I didn't see Ronnie Goss skirt that fleece. You know, that's how efficient she is with her movement, isn't it, around the table?
Toma, can I just butt in there, please? Can the junior shearing semi-final is the next event on the card, ladies and gentlemen, and our semi-finalists need to be ready to go. We have Levi King, Darren Bryant, Blake Crooks, Joseph Gordon, Mark Gwynn, Harlem Chase in the first heat. So those competitors need to be seated at the foot of the stage, please. Levi King, Darren Bryant, Blake Crooks, Joseph Gordon, Mark Gwynn, Harlem Chase. Heat number 1. Heat 2, Kevin Daniel, Henry Mayo, Brodie Hurrell, Kimberly McLean, Josh Hopkirk, Topia Barraclough. Heat 3, Ryan Kirk, Matthew Smith, Kelly Poles, Artify Hadfield, Mark Baxter, Katie Reid. So that's the running order for the junior. First heat, please, to the foot of the stage. Thanks, Toma.
Thank you very much, Norm. So just back to these wool handlers. Young Kimberly down here, she's with her shearer. She sweeps out the short wool from around the crutch. I'm not sure if there was any socks on that sheet, but she just swept it all off. But she's experienced enough wool handler now to make these calls, and they are snap judgments, Mavis.
They are. It's like Snapchat. You just got to go. Got it, done it, made the call. Interesting down here. Chelsea's kept her whole fleece out. She just does not like the look of it. And, you know, that again is another judgment call. Straight away she's going, nah, don't like it, keep it out. Not going to worry about it. Don't want to put it in that fleece bin to go out and be judged as a fleece. I want it to be judged as something other than that. These competitors, they are hard out. They're going for their lives here, aren't they, Tuma?
Oh, they certainly are, you know. This is like the typical shed situation. You know, when you're working with full wool, it is one-on-one. And a lot of these shearers, they don't wait around for you. And this is actually a luxury, having what we call a raised board. Wow, Kimberly just threw that fleece magnificent. So this is what we call a raised board. There's a lot of wool sheds in New Zealand, and we call it a running board. And instead of having the shearers in front of you, you've got to run down a board as well. So these wool handlers, you know, they are true athletes. You know, they get there, they're pretty much running for 8 hours a day in 45-degree heat. You know, and you've really got to keep your wits about you and still be able to make these snap judgment calls, Mavis. You know, they're pretty onto it.
Koro, you've been down the front. Where did you think those throws came in?
Well, I believe that Veronica Goss is the one that's probably leading on the throws, closely followed by Chelsea Collier. But Ronnie Goss and Tuma said he never saw her skirt that fleece. Well, she's like a stealth bomber, this lady. She just sneaks up on you, and before you know it, she's putting her hand up. But she's really just a competitor that you'd love to have in your shearing sheds, because she won't make any noise. She just gets on with the business. And that's what's happening at the moment, because I think this is the last fleece that's coming off. Cherie is there, but Chelsea Collier is starting to clean up underneath the table. Mavis, there's a fleece on the side of the table there. What's that one doing there?
Yep. Chelsea looked at it, she prepared it, and then she goes, nah, I don't want it to go out and be judged as a fleece. So I'm assuming that that's got hard colour all the way through it, or there's some water stain. It does look yellow, but then I'm not seeing it under the same light. What a beautiful throw, Chelsea. Yes. Oh, very nice. Hard to fault.
Rite tonu. They're all the same, those fleeces, all the same. Now the broom is gone. We've turned the clocks on you, Ronnie Goss. The clock is starting to tick away. 10 seconds has ticked by. Cherie, the clock is ticking away at you. You're in the big Golden Shears for the year 2019. Kimberly picks up the left leg and skirts with 14 fingers. Here she is underneath the table. Collier should be the one that should be the first to pick up the broom, Tuma, because she never skirted a fleece. She's underneath the table. She's not far away. The fastest time is coming from table 4, Tuma.
It certainly is Chelsea Collier, the little blue-eyed mouldy girl down there on table 4. She's about to put her hand up. These are the wool handlers. They're just putting the fleeces into the fadge. Woo! There we go. Okay, so we got Cherie, Ronnie, and young Kimberly down here. They've all got the broom in hand. 1 minute and 10 seconds is the sealed time. I think that Chelsea might have been maybe 40 seconds. So that's a very, very good effort from young Chelsea. But these other wool handlers, you can lose so many points out the back. And it's about keeping your quality. Cherie. Well done.
And just for your information, Chelsea did skirt that fleece.
Whatever. Okay, Norm, now we get on with the junior semi-finals.
Yes, we better move on before there's a family argument. So give the resident shearers a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, as they leave the stage. Thank you guys very, very much. And our wool handling judges, the guys and girls up there in the grey shirt, continue that applause for them as well. Thank you. So heat 1 should be assembled at the foot of the stage. We're just a couple of seconds and we're changing over to the junior semi-finals.
Thank you.
This one's sponsored by Farmers Weekly, of course. We'll get our shearing judges up. Our shearing judges are waiting in the wings, ready to go. So we'll get all set up and ready for them. Just bear with us for a couple of seconds. We'll get the sheep loaded. Everything all set and sorted for heat number 1 of the Farmers Weekly Junior. So huge thanks to our sponsors for this one. Of course, Farmers Weekly is the leading agricultural publication for farmers. And anything to do with farming is between the covers of the Farmers Weekly. So hugely popular agricultural paper. Delivered into almost 80,000 rural households, folks, the Farmers Weekly. So huge